Two of the best smaller Android phones out there are the Xiaomi 15 and the Galaxy S25. You folks were asking me to put them head to head to see which one is a better choice for you, IMO, and today I'm going to show you the advantages of each in a day in the life review. Also, thanks to Vivek for helping me make this video. I started the day at 9 in the morning. As you can clearly see, the Xiaomi 15 is taller than the Galaxy S25. The Xiaomi 15 has a nice 12-bit panel that gets pretty bright. The Xiaomi 15 model is the global variant and I have it in white. The phone also has 3 cameras on the back. The display of the S25 is 8-bit, but it's also good quality and can get pretty bright. I have the red one and it also has 3 cameras on the back. The sensor size of the Xiaomi is larger than that of S25, which lets more light into the camera, but it also means the camera bump is bigger. The Xiaomi is using a new battery technology, and despite the fact that it has a larger battery capacity of around 5240 instead of the 4000 on the Galaxy, it is not much heavier, only 27 grams more. I played some YouTube in the background, and by the time I went outside, both of them had 96% battery left. Then I went outside and started the test by taking a video with the main camera and log. Now I'm shooting with the Galaxy S25. One nice thing about the Galaxy S25 is that you can use the normal mode and log together. You don't need to use the Pro mode, but on Xiaomi 15, you have to go to the movie mode. I'm shooting with the Xiaomi 15 main lens. I'm going to the center of Vienna to pick up my iPhone 16e. That's a very interesting launch. As you saw, the Xiaomi 15's video quality suddenly dropped, and I'm not certain what exactly caused it, but fortunately, that was the first and the last time I experienced the video quality drop on the Xiaomi 15. For example, here I took a video using both phones in 4K at 30 frames per second, and they both created a good-looking, clean picture. That said, the zoom transition is better on the Galaxy S25 compared to the Xiaomi 15. The Xiaomi 15 has 2 color modes. One is Leica Vibrant and the other is Leica Authentic. I took this picture with Leica Authentic, and as you can see, the grass is darker and less vivid. And Leica Vibrant, as the name suggests, the colors are more vibrant. I actually prefer this mode, and in today's test, I'm going to use this mode only. For the ultrawide lens, they both perform great and the results are very similar. On the main lens, the main difference is that the Xiaomi 15's blue color is deeper than that of S25. At least in daylight, the difference between the telephoto lenses of the two phones is also very similar, and they both create a very pleasant look. Even zooming further does not reduce the quality as much, and up to 5 times zoom still creates very detailed footage. With the telephoto lens, I generally noticed that the Xiaomi 15's pictures are softer, while the S25 are sharper. This makes faces and animals appear harsher on the Galaxy S25 compared to the Xiaomi 15. Also, the exposure on the Xiaomi 15 is often higher than that of S25, and the S25's pictures are darker. You can also use the telephoto lens on both phones for some macro photography. Apart from the vibrant colors on Leica Vibrant of the Xiaomi, the level of detail is very similar on both phones, and I wouldn't say either of them has an advantage in daylight. Now, both phones have 91% battery left. Also, both phones have similar auto brightness under sunlight. That said, I did notice that the Xiaomi usually tries to dim the screen more when I was watching YouTube. For the sake of making the test more accurate, I disabled auto brightness and set both phones to the same brightness level using a lux meter for the rest of the test. I then took the train and passed the Donau to go to the center of Vienna to pick up my new iPhone 16e. Both phones are using the same chipset and the same modem. And when I tested the speed of the modems, I got identical speeds. Also, both of them had similar connections throughout my train ride. When I got off the train, they both had a similar battery percentage. I also turned on Komoot to track my activity using GPS. Let's also check the selfie camera of the phones. Now I'm shooting with the selfie camera. Let's check the dynamic range. This is the dynamic range. You are hearing me on the Xiaomi 15 right now. Xiaomi 15 has a really good microphone. Now I'm switching to Galaxy S25 microphone. You're hearing me on the Galaxy S25 microphone. I do feel that the Xiaomi 15 colors are a bit more gray and Galaxy is more white. The reality is something in between. I then shot a video of this building in a Stadtpark using log on both phones. In my experience, the log format of the Xiaomi is more versatile and you can use many LOTs with it. With the Galaxy, the only lookup table or LOT that works properly is the one Samsung provided. That said, the quality is top-notch, and these days I use the Galaxy log footage a lot in my YouTube videos. You can shoot in log with all lenses on the Galaxy, but with the Xiaomi, I was only able to do it with the main lens. For the zoom picture, the colors on the phones are very different. Between the two, I would say the Galaxy's color is more accurate, while the Xiaomi has too much magenta. If you zoom much more, like 20 times, the Xiaomi, in my opinion, created a much better image, which is not surprising considering the larger sensor size. For a more moderate zoom, like 5 times, the quality is close and the Xiaomi's colors are more vibrant, which again is simply the mode I'm shooting in right now. I really do like the Leica vibrant colors and I'm a bit biased towards them. For example, this picture in my opinion looks much nicer on Leica vibrant. And the zoom lens on the Xiaomi in general is much softer looking compared to the zoom lens of the Galaxy. It could be a properties of the glass itself or the image processing. I also see more often than not that the picture on the Xiaomi is more exposed than of the Galaxy. In this ultra-wide shot, if you look at the sun in the middle, the dynamic range of the Galaxy is better and there is a nicer HDR processing. I had this observation multiple times in other pictures too, and my theory is that Xiaomi's pictures are simply more exposed, which in turn causes you to lose some highlights. Both phones also have a portrait mode, which blurs the background artificially. This, together with the telephoto lens, is usually a great option for taking portrait photos of your friends or a statue if you don't have any. Usually, phones don't do a great job as a stabilization when using the zoom lens. I particularly had this problem with the Galaxy S24 Exynos variant, but both of the Xiaomi 15 and S25 do a great job at processing the video here. I arrived at the Apple Store and there was a crazy queue for iPhone 16e. I had to wait an hour before getting in. As you can see, there was also a huge crowd gathering and I had a hard time taking this shot, and the Apple team was explaining their innovation to a big crowd. Joke aside, the Apple Store folks in Vienna are super nice and friendly and I always have a great time when I go there. I wish Samsung also had a store here. And it is not their fault that the iPhone 16e is expensive and no one here is interested. After getting the iPhone 16e, I went outside to find a nice cafe. The stabilization on both phones with the main lens is very clean and smooth. Interestingly, this time, the Xiaomi footage is darker than that of the S25. The picture with the main lens of both phones is great, and the Xiaomi's blue sky is more vibrant. I then sat down in this little cafe, which is really called Small Cafe, to have some food. I also decided to do a quick unboxing for you of the iPhone 16e. There is no other YouTuber out there that doing an unboxing within another video, and I really do think that's worth subscribing to the channel. Maybe this is just my perception, but I feel the colors of the Xiaomi 15, the skin tone, and the color of the table were better rendered than the S25. The footage is more contrasty though. I stopped commute tracking on both phones after I got the coffee. Now the Xiaomi 15 has 79% battery left and the S25 has 76%. I then played YouTube while having my food on both phones over 5G. The food pictures look good on both phones. Just as a side note, you can always use the food mode on the Galaxy to take the picture. I also took a picture with 10 times zoom, and again, we can see that the Xiaomi photo has more details but is also softer. I then went inside the small church you saw earlier. I should admit I was a bit disappointed with the quality of the video from the Xiaomi. I assumed the larger sensor on the Xiaomi would make a very big difference in footage quality, especially since we were in low light condition. But the difference just wasn't there, and the footage looked similar. The Xiaomi was even a bit blown out in the highlights. Even with the telephoto sensor, they were very similar in quality, and the Xiaomi even had the ugly green dot reflection similar to iPhone footage, though it was not as severe. Neither the Xiaomi nor the Galaxy is limited in their camera app. They both have a bunch of options and modes, including the dual camera mode. Both of them have this dual recording mode. Now I'm shooting with the main lens and the selfie camera. Let's also check the microphone quality. It is quite loud out here. Also, the selfie camera on the Xiaomi 15 is wider, which is always nice. I can even fit another person in the frame. But the S25 Ultra, the S25 base model selfie camera is not as wide as the Xiaomi 15. The telephoto quality of the Galaxy S25 when taking a video is simply amazing. Even though the camera hardware didn't change, the colors are much better on this phone compared to the S24. The Xiaomi 15 also creates nice footage, but I do notice that the contrast is a bit too much for my taste. But that's more subjective. Here is another example with the main lens where the Galaxy S25 created a better dynamic range, while the highlights are overblown on the Xiaomi. But generally speaking, both phones are more than capable of taking great shots, whether we are talking about the ultra-wide, wide, or telephoto lens. Even though the quality is a bit behind larger counterparts like the S25 Ultra, especially with the main lens, they don't fall behind by a large margin. I would say the advantage of a larger phones usually lies in the telephoto lens, where the compact versions have a smaller sensor. But as you can see, even at 435mm zoom, they both still create a nice looking picture. One thing that I can't get to work on the Xiaomi 15 is sequel to search. I use this feature very often on my Galaxy to search for places, plans, and other things I take pictures of. Right now, the Xiaomi 15 is at 68% battery, while the Galaxy is at 60%. I put both phones to navigate through Google Maps since no matter how many times I go to the center of Vienna, I always get lost. On the way, I got some mango juice to refresh myself. Here, the Xiaomi is more exposed, and in this shot, I feel the overall look of the Xiaomi 15 is better than of the Galaxy S25. So if you wanna grow your own vid and advertise it, you know which phone to pick. For the portrait mode, they both did great. The Xiaomi 15 shot is a bit more contrasty. It was also a difficult shot since the sun was directly on my face. And people have also started to swim in the Donau, which means nature is healing and it's getting relatively warm again. I also met this cute doggo, and it seems the Xiaomi 15 did a better job at capturing him. Also, thanks to this long lady for letting us take the pictures and for providing even more content for us. And speaking of content, we also saw this cool girl with this futuristic transportation vehicle. I took this shot with my Sony Alpha camera, and if we compare it to the Galaxy S25, we can see that the Galaxy footage has a lot of raised shadows, which is a typical thing phones do. The Xiaomi footage, on the other hand, is darker and has more contrast, but there is also less dynamic range in the sky. Right now, the Xiaomi 15 has 61% battery left, while the Galaxy has 50%. Both phones have a similar width, and you can use them one-handed. This is something I really like about them. Also, both of them are already showing good battery life, so there isn't much of a compromise compared to the larger flagship phones. We took some more pictures and went to a cafe to sit down. For this indoor shot, the Xiaomi's skin tone is a bit off, while the Galaxy's is more accurate, and here the Xiaomi is too bright, while the Galaxy is too dark. But at least with the Xiaomi, you don't get the motion blur like you do with the Galaxy, likely due to a larger sensor. The Xiaomi Pics 1 to 50 or 1 to 100 of a second most of the time when there is moving subject, while only God knows what the Galaxy is doing. If your subject is not moving, I feel that in this portrait mode shot, the Galaxy does better with skin tones. Also, sometimes I feel Xiaomi photos are not consistent enough. For example, this photo looks very different than the next one that you see right now. Each captured Vivek in a different lighting. And again, in the third one, the colors shift again, and now Vivek is darker while the skin tone on the Galaxy was pretty much consistent. That said, the Galaxy S25 also has hiccups like the picture you see right here. By the time we went out of the cafe, the Xiaomi 15 had 55% and the Galaxy had 41% battery left. Nice selfie time. Xiaomi 15 or Galaxy S25. Vivek is embarrassed that he's walking with me. He's trying to walk faster. There are some light reflections on the Galaxy. When it comes to pictures, despite the fact that Xiaomi 15 has a larger sensor, due to computational photography, the difference between the two phones are not as big as I thought it would be, and Galaxy S25 can still keep up. When taking a video with both phones, I realized the white balance of Xiaomi is a bit off, and also it kept changing the white balance in the middle of the shot, which can create a very distracting color shift. Just as a pro tip, you have to fix your white balance if you want to shoot professionally. That said, I'm too lazy to do it myself. When the lights go out and it gets darker, I do notice the footage of the Galaxy S25 gets to be more and more noisy. On the other hand, the Xiaomi 15 holds up quite well, and the larger sensor and more lights being gathered is kicking in. Before going home, the Xiaomi 15 has 42% and S25 is at 25% battery left. I said goodbye to Vivek and got into the train to get back home. By the time I got home, the Xiaomi 15 is now at 36% and S25 is at 19%. One point to note is that the Xiaomi is based on HyperOS and S25 is running One UI. There are some differences between them, but they both are based on Android. Xiaomi 15 gets 4 years of majority updates, but S25 gets 7 years, which is great. I still use my iPhone XR after 7 years, so this is a meaningful difference. By the end of the test, both phones used around 4 hours of screen on time. And by the end of the test, Xiaomi 15 has 30% battery left and Galaxy S25 has 13% battery left. I really like Xiaomi 15 as a smaller phone. It has a great camera system with large sensors, has a great battery life, a 12-bit high display panel, and the phone is smooth with a great performance. Galaxy S25 is also a great choice. The battery life is not as good as Xiaomi 15, but on the other hand, the phone is a true compact phone and only weighed 162 grams. Both are great choices and boils down to your personal choice. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch the day in the life video of S25 versus Pixel 9 next. Thanks for tuning into Tecmo, and I will see you in the next one.